All right, welcome back to Twin Tarot. Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David,
And I'm Gary.
and he's playing with his stuffed animal back
And I've got the this is not David. He
there. Yes.
it turns out he's angling for his own channel.
Well, he deserves it. Those classes like that.
It's the glasses, right?
Yeah.
It's like you've got Tarot Stash, Gerald from Tarot Stash. He's got the signature stash. He's got the signature blue glasses.
Yeah, just put him up there and do voiceovers, and you'll be fine.
You got to give him, we got to give him a fan like Gerald has. Maybe a laser toy or something.
All right. This is going to be a reading on the Supreme Court and if they will be involved in deciding the 2024 election, which, as we record this on Sunday, October 27th, a little afternoon Pacific time. Yes. The voting hasn't, the election hasn't happened yet. That's in 9 days. Voting started already.
Yeah.
And you can have probably your red Oasis or your red Mirage, and then your blue wave, and then come the court cases, because we all know the election's going to be stolen. The Democrats have been plotting for the last 4 years on how to steal an election they won.
Yeah, they're getting good at it. But they had to sort of divert some of their attention to the weather machine.
Yes, I was going to say, I think you mentioned that, or I saw a story saying was the North Carolina legislature, one of the state's legislatures that got blasted by the storm. Said we should just give our votes to Donald Trump because the storm hit rural areas, so that's not fair.
Of course. Why? That makes perfect sense. Why
exactly.
Wouldn't you do that, right?
I'm surprised it took you all that long. You thwarted the evil Democrats, fascist, communistic, Marxist Democrats here.
Radicals. Yes, Marxist.
Yeah. in their evil weather machine and their Jewish space lasers.
Oh my God,
Lord!
It's how do they find time to legislate? They got so much on their plate. Good thing the Republicans are in charge of the House, because the Democrats they would just be so distracted with moving legislation to help people get their lives better than developing all these wonderful tools that they've had time to develop.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If the Republicans spent as much time legislating as they did, bitching and complaining and chasing conspiracy theories, they might have actually gotten something done.
Yeah, they might have improved their chances of actually sticking around.
I'll just stick it to the lips. Anyways, let's look at I'm going to look at the energy around the Supreme Court. How are they feeling right now? Less than 2 weeks away from the election. Actually, just a little over a week away from the election.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can dive into what they're going to do if it comes dropping into their lap.
Right. Do you have any stones on your mat there? Or?
No, these are the normal ones. You got a obsidian point. This is a quartz with black tourmaline rutiles inside, tumbled purple amethyst, a snowflake obsidian, a sodalite, prehnite, carnelian, and rose quartz, and then schorl, which is just basically black tourmaline.
Awesome. Now make the screen big so everyone can see your cards and your beautiful stones.
All right. So, entertainment purposes and all of that. Yes. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. Wouldn't want to be sued by John Roberts or anybody like that. All right. How's the Supreme Court looking at this election as it comes up? Judgment. Well, does that mean they're going to heed the call of the people, or are they going to heed the call of the Republicans that want them to heed their call? They're preparing.
Yeah.
They are preparing for what the people have to say, and sort of gearing up with the elections are kind of that is the American ideal, right? That's what makes America different than any other country at that time. Is you have free and fair elections and peaceful transfer of power and stuff like that. If you can't, if you don't have trust in the democratic process, you don't have a government. So that's kind of what they're vibing here. In the past, you have the Eight of Cups. To me, this is going to be the January 6th insurrection and the walking away from the peaceful transfer of power. We've always had that peaceful transfer of power. People kept their emotions in check, at least post-Civil War anyways. And we didn't have that. Also of interest is that 3 of the Supreme Court justices got put on by Donald Trump during his administration. And then they overturned Roe v. Wade. So there's not a lot of trust. Their reputation has taken a bath, shall we say. Current situation, speaking of reputations taking a bath, is the 5 of Cups. This is the most disappointing Supreme Court in our lifetimes and probably in the last 150 years. Just the corruption. Maybe it's not all corrupt, but there's a lot of corruption in here. They're, again, entertainment purposes only, don't need to be sued by John Roberts. But to be honest, they really don't want to take this case. It's not like they're all in on Trump. They are glad they got in because of Trump. They've done things to protect him, but I think they also realize that the protection racket never stops with Donald Trump. He gave you a favor. You owe him your soul for this lifetime and several lifetimes going forward. That's just how Trump is. There's your Trump. Overarching energy is the 8 of Coins. I think they would like to get back to the business of removing women's rights and just turning this country back into a white privileged dystopian society. That's really what they would like to be working on at the moment.
Well, that was the energy underneath it, wasn't it?
Well, democracy is valuable, yes.
Yes, or having babies is valuable.
Yeah, they're illiberal democracy. Yeah. Lesson to be learned is the Hierophant. Here's the thing. If Trump's elected and becomes a dictator, the Supreme Court is not necessary. They're just a puppet organization that just agrees with whatever dear leader says. Because if you don't, then you're going to be removed and summarily executed. So they become nothing more than a masquerade, a charade, as if you will. So their place in society is only relevant when they have power to work on legislation. You put a dictator in there, they're not relevant. He could disband him and it doesn't make any difference because Trump's orders are going to be law. That's just how things work.
Yeah, they won't need to interpret laws anymore. It's whatever Trump says they are.
Exactly. Outcome is the Knight of Cups. It's going to be a mixed bag. There's going to be some, and I look at you, Mr. Alito, and I look at you, Mr. Thomas, who will twist themselves into pretzels to bow to Trump. Others might be a little bit less willing. Just the general vibe is, in order to win a court case, you have to have evidence. Now, I say that.
You did say that.
But the whole presidents are kings ruling kind of throws that out in the bathwater. Plus, the Colorado Supreme Court, when they said Trump was an insurrectionist, and the Supreme Court tossed that out. It's like, yeah, you have to have evidence. And when you do have evidence, they rule against you if they don't like it. And then they basically create a ruling out of what they call whole cloth with the presidents or kings ruling. Obviously, I don't think that the liberal judges are the problem in this. And one might even be able to argue that I'm drawing up the newest female conservative judge. I'm forgetting
Jenny
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
She whose name I don't bother opening a brain cell for. She seems to be maybe okay, but the rest of them, F them.
You're talking about the Republican gal.
Yeah, the Republican gal, whose name I try not to remember. Don't tell it to me. I don't want to know it. Okay, what are your thoughts?
They're playing a dangerous game with the whole presidents or kings, like you said, because the whole reason why they have power is because it's a check on the executive branch. If you remove that check, all of a sudden now you become a plaything of the executive branch, and that's not what you want.
It's like when you play rock, papers, and scissors from some annoying kid who doesn't like to lose, so they come up with Dynamite or Superman or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
He's looking it up anyways. Amy Coney Barrett, by the way.
Barrett, yeah. I'm sure there'll be and the reason why I'm looking it up, Dave, because there's going to be 30 people in the comments telling me it's Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, because of a 1 minute gap in this video where I couldn't pull her name out, there'll be a gazillion comments. They'll type it up as they hear.
And I'm the one that reads them all and responds.
Just hit heart on it and move on. Anyways.
They took the time to do the research or to give us the answer, so I definitely want to reply to them.
Yeah, we got it.
So I want to look at the energy of the Supreme Court on kind of like the middle part of November. So let's give this election a week or so to sort of marinate, and they're counting votes, and then simmer, and then see how they're feeling about that. Okay, so coming on down. Okay, so how's the Supreme Court feeling about, Thanksgiving?
Hey, you didn't name your crystals on your table. Everybody's going to hate you now. Let's say, but you can't name either one of them.
Oh, I can name a whole bunch of them. So wait a minute, I got to push this camera back so you can see them all. So this is azurite on malachite.
Very good.
Yes. This is my rainbow obsidian.
Very good.
This is just regular. Oh, this is tourmaline.
That's correct. Black tourmaline.
Black tourmaline. Well, okay. And this is a smoky quartz with black eyeballs. Quartz with
actually, it's kind of a smoky quartz. It's an celestial.
A celestial.
Celestial. There's no C.
Celestial. Okay, so it's not.
I believe it is in the quartz family.
Okay. So there we go. I'll put the eyeballs up there that way.
Yes. Looking at you.
I'm watching you. Should put some blue glasses on those things too, right?
It looks like it took a hit above the head there too. Somebody shoot at it.
Yeah. Okay, so how's the Supreme Court feeling around Thanksgiving? They're in a contemplative mood.
Yeah.
They're sort of sitting back and thinking, oh boy, what do we got going on here? We have to be very thoughtful about how this is all playing out. The challenge is they're not seeing a clear path out of this. It's to the surprise of no one, Trump and the Republicans are going to play shenanigans when this election does not go their way. And they're going to try and bring all these cases to the justice system through the Justice Department, trying to get it up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court is like, we got to look at this. We got a lot of other things on our plate rather than looking at some really out on the fringe conspiracy theory of election fraud. Maybe we should let the lower courts do their work and not worry so much about it, because maybe they'll resolve it. In the past, the hangman, what a perfect card. Yeah, they sure were looking at things a different way when they came out with presidents or king ruling, didn't they, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
They were looking at it a lot differently than most other legal scholars. The current energy is the Two of Cups. Yeah, they're looking at Republicans and Democrats coming together in agreement in this election. That tells me that this is very consistent with what we were reading on the presidential election and post-presidential election, that Kamala Harris is going to be coming out on top. And it's because of the unification of the Republicans and the Democrats coming together to fight this fascism and authoritarianism that Trump is bringing. It could also be that they're cooperating in the counting of votes and this whole nonsense about the election being stolen. Overarching energy is the Six of Pentacles. Just having a fair justice system. You've got the scales of justice. You're giving your billionaires are giving you shekels. But I think the way I take this, I don't take this as a negative card. I think this is, frankly, they're trying to be fair and they're trying to be balanced, and they're trying to do what's in the best interest of the citizens of the United States and the voters.
Who is doing that?
The Supreme Court.
Ha! Keep going.
You feel free to reread this. The lesson to be learned is that some of the decisions that they have made have really polarized opinion about the Supreme Court. And there might be a couple of justices that are out in the snow looking for a new living. I think Dave might have named them earlier in this video. It's only a shame there wasn't like this big RV and an upside down flag to help clarify who they are. The outcome is the Nine of Cups. Hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. Depending on how you look at it, because we have sometimes looked at this as the smug Trump with his stacked Supreme Court. I'm not taking it that way. I'm thinking that that the Supreme Court is trying. They don't want to get involved if they don't have to, and that the outcome is that the voters get, it's beneficial to the voters. The voters get what they want. Your turn.
I would be concerned with that Six of Coins of being Supreme Court justices bought and paid for.
Okay, we'll keep going from that.
And then if you don't rule the way that you're supposed to, you're going to lose the money, lose the sponsorship.
Okay.
So what do you do? Where do your loyalties lie? Do they lie to the Constitution, or do they lie to the billionaires who are making your life lucrative?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I see things going.
Yeah, that dovetails right to the next card, the lesson to be learned. Because obviously, if when Kamala Harris becomes president, there is going to be some investigations happening.
You did it. You said it like a Republican.
What's that?
Kamala? Really?
Oh, Kamala. Sorry.
There you go.
Comrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kamala's gonna do some investigations, and there's gonna be some folks heading for the hills. Yeah, time to go. And maybe we'll get a happier and friendlier Supreme Court out of this.
Yeah, I think some members of the Supreme Court are, they're with that Eight of Swords, their hands are tied in some ways, because it's really a balance of, again, doing Trump favors, and the favors never end, versus, upholding the law, which is what you swore your oath to. And, and Trump always eats around the edges of your moralities and your ethics until he gets to the center part of it. And how many of those folks have the ability to put up a boundary and say no more? Yeah. And literally, if Trump goes away, a lot of that pressure goes off. They're still owned by billionaires, but they now have to wait for their next fascist messiah to come along to take over democracy and become an oligarchy where they call all the shots and keep all the money for themselves.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas just doesn't have that many years left in him.
No,
he wants to go ride around in his RV.
Yeah, Alito's not too far behind him either.
Yeah, so that's two folks out running out in the cold. I suspect we may see that we have two Supreme Court justices retiring.
So kind of the take-home point again is get out and vote.
Yep.
Get like-minded people out to vote. Vote blue up and down the ticket. Make it such a overwhelming landslide, an overwhelming mandate to Congress that these court cases are doomed. I mean, literally, the two things that if the Supreme Court, the conservative justice of the Supreme Court, they wanted to overturn this and hand it to Trump and the Republicans, they need it to be close. They need the controversy because that gives them the cover that they need to make a controversial decision like that. If it's so cut and dry that even trying to make a ruling out of whole cloth is ridiculous, they won't do it. It's not worth it. The other thing is, be ready to go out and protest. Be ready, like the Israeli citizens with when Netanyahu was trying to disband the Supreme Court and the what they call it, like the common sense rule, or there's a rule their Supreme Court has that they can overturn a law if it's ridiculous law. It's something as simple as that. Like if you said, all women have to be held in chains in a canary cage in a kitchen, and it passes, they could say, no, that's ridiculous. We're not doing that. And it would be, you need to, and folks are out protesting when they tried to take that away. And Americans have gotten really complacent. Yeah. We had some protests when Trump was in there.
Yeah.
We got the Million Woman March and stuff like that. You're going to need stuff like that, because if you're not ready to go out and march and not ready to go out and have your voice heard en masse, they're going to think you don't care and it's safe to do what they're doing. And Gary's got
yeah, my wife calling me.
Hang up on her. Who needs to talk to her anyways? All right. Anything you want to add to that?
Not a thing.
All right. We will end this video so Gary can call his wife back and apologize.
You're not answering the call. I'm in trouble.
Thank you for watching this video. Supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Give us a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe if you really like it. Hit the notifications. We'll wake you up at midnight every single day. And leave a comment. I read them all. Respond to many of them.
But don't call Gary, because he'll just send you straight to voicemail like he does his wife.
It's kind of how I roll on these things.
We'll catch you on the next video, everyone. Take care.
Bye.